Okay, so you want to follow the magenta line. Let's talk about programming in our route to our destination airport. This is going to be a short flight from Smyrna to Winchester. We already departed Smyrna and are currently flying at 140 degrees level at 3,000 feet. Normally, you'd complete this on the ground before taxiing to the runway, but you can also adjust your flight plan while flying. Let's add in our flight plan on the GNS 430 WAS. As you can see, we have two different GPS displays. We have this top one and we have this bottom one. This top one is our 530 WAS. This bottom one is our 430 WAS. Both of these almost are identical, except the 530 has a few features that the 430 does not. For the sake of ease, we're going to start with the 430 as this is the most common GPS in almost all of flight simulation, especially in general aviation. Let's start out by planning our flight plan. We're going to start by hitting the FPL button. It's going to bring up your active flight plan, which today you can see is nothing. So what we're going to start with is we're going to start by pushing the cursor button or the push CRSR button, as you see here. We're going to select that, and it's going to move your cursor into the page you're in. See the first waypoint is identified, blinking in green. We're going to start by tuning in our departure airport, which in this case was Smyrna. Kilo, Mike, Quebec, Yankee. And we do that by using this inner knob and just using your middle mouse rotation. You can either just rotate it like I am. It's the easiest way to do it. See, the first thing automatically pulls up Kilo because Kilo is the first letter identifier in the United States, most commonly used. So we'll start with Kilo. Next, we want to move our cursor from the first space to the second space. To do that, we use the big knob and select it to the right. And then we're going to select the next letter, which in this case is Mike. And then we're going to go to the right again. And then to the right again. And we can see Smyrna has now identified. It says press enter to accept. So we're going to press enter. And you can see it has entered our first waypoint. At this point, you could enter in any number of waypoints, VORs, anything that gets you in between. Let's say you're flying a visual route or some type of Victor Airway, something that you wanted to fly to a certain VOR first and then to a destination airport. However you want to fly it, this is where you can do that. In this case, we're going to fly direct to our destination, which in this case is Winchester. Winchester is Kilo, Bravo, Golf, Foxtrot. So we're going to put that in. Kilo, Bravo, Golf, Foxtrot. Winchester Municipal is correct. Enter, automatically puts it in. And notice our CDI is kind of freaked out for a second, and that's okay because now it actually has a course between our departure and arrival. At this point, we've completed our flight plan for today. You could continue to fly from one airport to another airport to another airport. Whatever you want to do, you could keep going for a very long time in this flight plan. For this sake, though, we're going to hit the FPL button again and brings us back to our nav page. Okay, now we can see that we've moved back to the nav page, but we have something that we have a problem. Where is the magenta line? Well, you can kind of see it right here. So we need to zoom out. To zoom out, we use the ring arrow keys here, and the up key means you zoom out, the down key means zoom in. So if you zoom out, we can see the route. We can zoom all the way out and see the full route here. There's the full route, and we notice we're not on course. Now we could turn to the left, aka east, and get on course direct. We could do that way, or another option, we could go direct to. In this case, I want to go direct to. I'm going to hit this D with the arrow through it button. And notice it automatically puts in your first or your next waypoint that's in your flight plan. If you wanted to go direct something else, you could use your cursor button here and scroll and adjust this just like you did on the flight plan. But in this case, I want to go to direct to Winchester Municipal. So I'm going to hit enter once and enter again, and automatically my course is projected. Go over a couple more things here on the GNS 530, same as 430, but this is a little bigger. We'll use this now. We're going to cover how we can switch radio frequencies real fast, because you're going to need that coming up in the next lessons, because we're going to start getting onto radio communications. So let's go over that real fast. First off, you can see one is highlighted in a very like cyan, a light blue. That is the cursor. If you push the CV button, notice the cursor moves from the COM side to the VLOC or the VOR side, the radio navigation side. You switch that by hitting the push CV or COM and VLOC. To adjust the actual frequency, we use the inner knob. To adjust the right-hand side, the outer knob to adjust the left-hand side. For example, we could go to 122.80, which is the VATSIM Unicom frequency at all airports. And then to switch from standby to active, because our current active is 124.85, standby is 122.8. So to switch it, hit the C button with the two arrows up and down, and it switches the standby to active. So now we are on 122.80. Same with the VLOC, it does the same thing. Now there's a lot more to the GNS 430 WAS and the GNS 530 WAS, but for our purposes, this will do just fine as an overview. Don't forget to watch the next lesson to keep on learning and become the most proficient pilot that you can. See you in the next lesson.